Good afternoon. Welcome to our Market Basket Analysis webinar, the second in our Predictive Analytics series. It's great to have you all with us this afternoon. My name is Lori Blandford, and I'm the Marketing Manager for Dun Solutions Group, and I'll be the moderator for today's webinar. Our presenter is Ken Krausick, Senior Manager of Predictive Analytics for Dun Solutions Group, a longtime customer analytics professional with exceptional experience in marketing mix modeling. Before we begin, please look on the right-hand side of your screen and find the questions panel. Whenever you have a question, you may type it there, and we will answer them during the Q&A segment at the end of the presentation. Well, here's a look at our agenda today. We'll begin briefly by sharing a bit about Dun Solutions Group and our predictive analytics practice. Then we'll explore the marketing basket and business, take a look at a demo of analytics software, and then finish up with a Q&A session. Founded 22 years ago, Dun Solutions Group is a full-service information technology consulting firm. We design, develop, and deliver a wide range of solutions using a variety of advanced tools. We deliver those solutions worldwide with offices in Chicago, Minneapolis, Raleigh, Fort Lauderdale, and Bangalore, India. Our offerings fall into three practice areas: application development solutions, which include custom development, e-commerce portals, and web design; business intelligence solutions, which include end-to-end BI solutions, dashboards, reporting and analytics, and other advanced BI capabilities; and of course, predictive analytics. Package solutions, which include software services offerings for specific vertical markets or unique needs. In addition, we offer training solutions, which span those three areas and include classroom, on-site, and custom training. Our clients include some of the biggest names in American business, many mid-market companies, as well as a large number of governments and government agencies. Our customers include PepsiCo, Abbott, Bank of America, Kaiser Permanente, Allstate, City of Chicago, Progress Energy, and others. In order to offer our clients the most advanced solutions, we maintain close partnerships with industry-leading technology companies, including SAP Business Objects, Microsoft, IBM, and others. And now I'm going to turn the presentation over to Ken Krausick, our predictive analytics expert, and he's going to go through the market basket analysis presentation with you. Thank you.
Thanks, Lori, and thanks everybody for attending today. I want to walk you through a few things about predictive analytics and also get into market basket analytics and show you some techniques that we use with SPSS Modeler. So what we have experienced within the many years is that businesses go through a series of stages as they mature using business intelligence. From this complexity and business value, they typically look at tactical as companies use reports to help run their day-to-day business. These reports typically inform users of things like current inventory, sales, commissions, and out of stocks possibly. And they typically come directly from the organization's transactional systems. Over time, managers and business executives want to have the ability to ask ad hoc data questions and try to figure out why things are happening in the organization. So they move on to the analysis level, which often leads to the need for a data warehouse to help facilitate better access to the data. Once leadership has a good idea of what their goals are, and they can move into the next phase, which is monitoring, establishing key performance indicators, or KPIs, and checking how they are doing against those indicators. More mature organizations create those KPIs at each level in the company and share performance goals and results with the employees. But all of these are really looking into the rearview mirror. What if you could look into the future? What area of your business would you explore? Well, predictive analytics allows organizations to model outcomes and make predictions that inform business decisions, changing and driving your business to make forward-looking decisions happen. What we have noticed is that most companies are probably making decisions on gut feel alone, when in reality they may be based on ideas and metrics that are no longer true. So sometimes it's not evident what the factors are that influence the business outcome. This is when predictive analytics can improve your decision-making ability by providing fact-based solutions. The core of predictive analytics relies on capturing relationships between KPIs and their predicted variables from past occurrences, and exploiting it to identify future opportunities. Predictive analytics is the process of discovering hidden patterns to improve business performance and proactively gain a competitive edge. It's been known to be a framework for modeling business problems that involve uncertainty. It's powered for a combination of data mining, applied statistics, and mathematics. Predictive analytics can solve multiple business problems and find an optimal solution to help organizations understand their customers and improve their operations. As with most business endeavors, data mining and predictive analytics are much more effective if done in a planned and systematic way. Even with cutting-edge data mining and modeling tools, the majority of the work requires a knowledgeable business analyst to keep the process on track. Our approach to project management follows a model called Cross-Industry Standard Process for Data Mining, or CRISP-DM. It's a structured approach to data mining and predictive analytics that can help ensure the project's success. As a methodology, it includes typical phases of the project, the tasks involved with each phase, and an explanation of the relationships between these tasks. As a process model, it provides an overview of the data mining and predictive analytics life cycle. So some of the various problems and processes throughout an organization that predictive analytics can resolve or improve. All problems can be solved by applying one modeling solution, which is why using predictive analytics, we often leverage several different modeling techniques. They vary from classification modeling to association modeling and some segmentation modeling. So in today's webinar, we'll be focusing on using predictive analytics to explore market basket analysis, its value and how it can drive more profitable advertising and promotions, improve decision-making for product placement, and to increase the value of the market basket. Let's now move on to understanding what market basket analysis is, the challenges, and how it works, and reasons to implement. So the question of what is market basket analysis, it's also known as affinity analysis. It allows the business to understand the products that are purchased together and the patterns of when they are purchased. The relationship will be in the form of a conditional statement, such as if a customer purchases a razor and aftershave, then that customer will purchase shaving cream. So the analysis will calculate a confidence percentage for each statement, where it represents the percentage of time that the statement is true, or the percentage of time that the relationship occurs in the data. There is a support statistic that gives you the understanding of the percentage of transactions for the occurrence for the first part of the conditional statement. In this case, the support is 30%, where 30% of the time razors and aftershave are purchased together. This analysis can also figure out the order that the purchase is sequenced. This is known as predictive market basket analysis. Taking this a step further to isolate the less trivial baskets, there are strategies that follow an analysis called differential market basket analysis. This process splits the results by product categories, purchase channels, customer demographics, promotional literature, and so on. Now, it may seem overwhelming to figure out which type of analysis fits your challenges, but we'll work with you to figure that out. Let's look at some common challenges that you may have. For instance, is your strategy optimal in meeting the current demands of the business? Well, is it because the market basket analysis is not providing enough information? Is there a resource or time or skill set issue? The others on the list are common challenges that companies deal with. How often does marketing make a decision about product placement without having support from data analytics? Or each challenge is often turned into an individual project with a special team dedicated to solve the problem. For instance, if the basket size has been decreasing over time, what if we use the basket analysis to educate the store associates with cross-sell and upsell opportunities? One resolution is for merchandising to study the baskets and create sell sheets for the stores. Basket reporting by store could allow management to follow the success. Challenges like these differ from business to business, but these are challenges that most companies face when building models. That is, trying to be accurate when you're building your market basket models. It can be very difficult to do because many organizations do not have the resources, software, or even the process in place to develop these complex models. Many companies may believe that Excel tables could supply these results. However, there are many combinations of products and varying scenarios for that type of software. Partnering with an expert can make the process more efficient and cost-effective. These are the reasons why the market basket modeling process should include some business intelligence experts that specialize in data modeling and predictive analytics. At Done Solutions Group, our analysts have advanced modeling skills and use the most efficient and sophisticated software that includes several methods to produce the robust models. We know the appropriate method to use for each scenario, and we always educate our clients about every potential outcome. We can do the heavy statistical lifting as well as providing the hands-on training. So ask yourself, are there resources to complete the data modeling and predictive analytics? Using more sophisticated methodologies is crucial, especially if there is work required to clean up and consolidate the data prior to developing the models. With market basket modeling, there are various moving parts that affect your accountability. The more data that we isolate, the more accurate the results will be. So a crucial step in the process that will improve the accuracy of the modeling is to build a data warehouse, or a one version of the truth, by integrating the various pieces of data that exist throughout an organization. All internal data and external data is included in the consolidated data store. Once the data store is complete, the modelers can extract from one data source and proceed to examine the patterns and develop actionable insights. So the bottom line to accurate modeling is having accurate input data, and the answer to having accurate input data is a business intelligence implementation. So now that we have an understanding of the data complexities, let's see how the market basket modeling works. The modeling is often utilized to be more precise when creating product offers for different types of customers. Retailers are using market basket analysis for visual and space planning that differs by geography location, and potentially to personalize websites and emails to be smarter at building relationships. During special times of the year, companies may implement a process that encourages sales associates to push particular cross-selling. And most people can relate when you hear, do you want fries with that? When approaching a market basket analysis, the customer, the store, the product attributes are crucial when making decisions from the baskets. It will become advanced very quickly as you enter more elements into the analysis. That's why the confidence, support, and profit are key when implementing a new process, changing a store layout, and engaging with your customers. So there are many outcomes that we can consider. A lot that you hear is around cross-selling and upselling opportunities. The benefit that most people associate with the market basket analysis, they are identified by the product combinations in the baskets. when customers buy and in what sequence. Cross-selling is important when you want to build a profitable basket and introduce new products. For instance, offering higher margin add-ons such as computer accessories when a computer laptop is purchased. This is where basket will add value to advertising, promotions, and some placement strategies. Upsell is important in boosting up the basket sales by targeting customers with more expensive items as an upgrade or even adding a service contract on electronics. So if you remember one thing from this webinar that you can benefit from and probably quickly implement is that if you identify frequent purchase patterns that tend to occur in a predictable order, which is called the sequence analysis, you can pretty much create the trigger marketing campaigns, and they're going to add value and make the customer believe that you care about their choices and probably will return for more shopping. Some experiences that we have in regard to an office supplies retailer in regard to ink and toner and paper campaigns. We analyzed B2B customers and we solicited them by some emails, postcards, and outbound telesales and inbound customer service orders, where the customer is buying potentially ink and toner for older business machines, and then the upsell would be to sell them on the latest machines by explaining the benefits. Also, if a customer is buying ink and toner for fax machines and possibly copy machines as well, then we created a script to sell the 4-in-1 machines and sent a field rep to their location after the interaction. Also targeting customers that typically buy paper every week but have not bought paper within the last 2 weeks was something that we noticed was very profitable during the campaign. So you always ask yourself, well, why implement Market Basket? It's basically do you want your customers to believe you care and have them become loyal because you're targeting them with products and services that they value. They will especially like that you create promotions that are innovative and interesting, and they will then tell everyone about it. Another point from this webinar is that the Market Basket analysis will help you understand the less trivial product relationships and especially different baskets for different types of customers. When you implement Market Basket modeling, it allows you to adopt new strategies and also to act on strategies that you always considered in the past but had no data-driven facts to back them up. So what if you were to report back after this webinar to say to your boss that what I mentioned in the past was a way that will better align our advertising strategies to the best suited audience, but back then we didn't have any data to support it. But if we implement Market Basket analytics, we can understand the data-driven facts of the cross-sell and upsell opportunities. For instance, here's a few case studies that we have on using Market Basket analytics. This one here is in regard to a Midwest retailer that's studying the purchasing through a website from different locations around the nearest location. One thing they have right now at the time before the test was free shipping. And they were studying if the shipping charges were to increase, would the basket or would the purchase pattern change throughout the time. So they analyzed the purchase patterns for about 3 months after the shipping rate increased, and they noticed that the baskets or the purchase patterns really stayed the same from even the customers that lived far away versus those that lived closer. So we noticed that it didn't impact the purchase patterns in a way. So there was the great opportunity was that we would really increase our profits by adding some of the shipping charges to potentially any size of the basket. So that's what Market Basket analytics can try and figure out based upon their basket sizes. Another one, which really is a combination of several techniques in regard to cross-selling and bundling. You often see products that are bundled together. You could also reference the buy two, get one free offers. These could help attract more customers and, more importantly, move them to purchase different products and have the stores move more inventory when you have to meet maybe vendor requirements. So bundling them together really helps the customer understand that they get a great value, especially with the buy two, get one free. There's often a gift that's very common associated when you buy a particular product. It lifts the basic product sales by just decreasing your margins a little bit due to the gift. If the retailer places their brand next to a popular brand and more expensive brands, the customers are able to compare the ingredients and make a choice by examining the particular products, noticing that they may be the same, and also then they would buy the more basic brand and potentially save money and buy the generic brand. So most of the case studies that we have read mention that the basket analysis produces business value, but takes a ton of effort because of the enormous amount of transactions and complex algorithms. So basically, leveraging the purchasing habits is crucial for the success of the go-to-market strategies. But there are barriers to overcome. First, how can this be implemented? Can this process be done manually? Well, probably not without a lot of effort. Do you have the software to handle the several million transactions? Without the software, it's typically a challenge to identify product affinities and sequence patterns that can be transformed into incremental business value. We typically leverage sophisticated modeling tools from our software vendor partners. These tools help to organize and optimize the process and in most ways automate the modeling of the market baskets. So let's move on to a demo of a market basket analysis using the IBM SPSS modeler. So throughout, what we'll see in the tool is that we'll identify baskets using visualization techniques and some association modeling, and then also getting into targeting customers using their demographics by another type of modeling called classification modeling. So here's the interface of the modeler tool. Just to get into the analysis versus understanding what the tool is about, we can always spend some time later if you'd like to spend some time understanding the software. The user icons that are on this white screen are called nodes. So this shopping data set is a composition of different products that can be bought. We have ready-made, frozen foods, alcohol, and fresh meats, toiletries, and so forth. And then we have some demographic data that we have on the individuals. So that's one data set that we'll be working with. There's another one that's that includes different types of books and also some different types of demographics. So there's different kids books, history books, biography, mystery fiction, and so forth. So one thing we can do first is looking at a way that it's easy to understand the combinations by looking at a web graph. So this has all the different types of books, and the lines represent the connection between those books, that there was a purchase that was made together. The lines represent the strength in the relationship of how many purchases they were together. So the bottom slider is going from 60 to 180, where it represents the number of purchases that those two products were involved in. So as you slide the minimum up to 80 from 60, you see that some of the lines, eliminate. So therefore, we only have so many combinations of products from 80 baskets to 180 baskets. There's also another section here that we can identify all of the different links and the actual combinations. There's also a control section where if we need to change some of the widths of the lines, there's an opportunity to do that as well. So in this case, it's a data set where we see that there's a triangular connection, and then there's another two lines that are really highlighted blue. So there's a strong link between those. So this is just to understand your data set, and then what we can do from here is of these connections, we can there's a way to scroll over a certain connection and highlight it, and then the data set that we're referencing, we can create a selection. So basically, this combination of history and biography, we can create a selection of anybody that has ever purchased those two just by generating one of those user icons. So there's a selection node, or we can get into later what a drive node is. So here it would be a select node that we can look at. I'm just going to go back to the page where this node will give you just a simple statement of if history and biography. So there's different combinations that we can choose in this. And one combination, I'm just going to look at the triangular combination. And in this case, I'm going to generate it's called a drive node. It's creating a new variable. So if the customer has this connection or this pattern of the relationships, they're going to be given a value, a specific flag. So a drive node will really assign a new variable. So within the selected, we see that if somebody has all of these purchases, then it's going to give them a true or a false, basically yes or no. So we're going to call this is going to be biography, sci-fi, and history. So one thing that we can do is try and understand what type of individual typically buys these products together. Now that we have a selection of individuals, what we can do is look at a modeling node of an association. So in this case, there's an opportunity in this modeling node to set what products that you want to be they're called consequence or antecedents, but if it's the if A then B, so for instance, if you want to understand, to study all the customers that typically, if they buy just a collection of these. So the resulting nugget, as they call it, is the model results based upon the different products that you put in. So it gives you all the combinations that you had set where there's some of the statistics of support and confidence. So for in this case, 80% confident means if the person buys these 4 products, most likely they're also going to buy the health and fitness. So sometimes if you're interested to look at a lower support where only about 8.5% buy the politics, current affair, and the fantasy, and then also buy the health and fitness. So one thing we could do is from the selection of the combinations of the products, you could always choose if you want a particular product that the customer will buy. So this will give you all the combinations of when that product was bought, which was the kids' book. And then you could essentially attach this So there's particular output. For instance, if you have specific buying patterns, it's going to give you a prediction of whether you're going to buy that next product or not based upon your purchase patterns, and also give you a likelihood. So there's an opportunity just to use the numbers to come up with your next strategy on what products you want to target. There's another scenario where we can look at is something that I had set up. It's more of the sequence patterns. I have an example here of different web pages that different visitors have gone to at different times. So this is just a list of visitors where visitor 0 has 6 different visits on different times. So all of the pages are just a representation of different areas of their web page. So there's a sequence modeling section that if you just fill in all the details about the visitor ID or the timestamp or the page, and it'll build you a model such that it will give you the combinations of the pages that people view, the confidence and the support, and also the results of the analysis will give you the next 3. You can set the next 3 sequences for the individual that has the highest percentage. So it depends on the visit for the individual, but we could always identify if they go to a certain page, what's the likelihood that they're going to click through on another page. So just to look at just a distribution of the data, you can see a collection of the number of times visitors have gone to different sites in regard to sequence 1, 2, or 3. So if we ever need to understand how many times a specific page was clicked on in the second order or third order, we could look at that as well. So there's definitely different scenarios that we can set up in regard to if you want to target a specific product that's also bought with different products. We can look at different scenarios where different individuals would purchase different items. Now, one thing we could do is for those individuals that bought the history and the science and the biography, of the demographic data that we have, we can look into and identify what other individuals look like and if they're going to have a high likelihood to respond. So here's another type of modeling. It's a classification modeling. But the results out of here, if you heard of there's a decision list or rule set, but this is giving you just, we have only a few demographics, but if the income is less than 1,700 and the gender is female, then false, versus if it's less than 1,700 and the gender is male, then true. So this really targets those males that are earning less than 17,000. So there's an opportunity to identify the individuals that are male over making over less than 17,000 that have not purchased the history or sci-fi or biography. So the resulting statistics from the model just give you what the recommendation is if they're going to purchase or not, and then the likelihood of them purchasing. So you can compare if they did purchase it versus what the recommendation is, and try and select your audience for the next campaign, or if you want to just create a new product for those individuals. So there's many things to do here. I just wanted to look at a few. We can go back to the presentation of understanding what market basket analytics can do. Very typical to other areas of marketing analytics where we want to decrease your cost and increase your profit. So maximizing your return on marketing investments, creating different promotions that attract to different customers, just understand your customer better and obtain higher accountability. So at Done Solutions Group, we help with predictive analytics services throughout every phase of just understanding what your data is, integrating different sources together, cleansing, and essentially just working with you to understand your business problem, and then tying it to a data mining goal, and then building models and just deploying the solution and automating the process. So there's many things that we can do in regard to training and software as well. And we can probably just take the time to see if there's any questions. So typically, yeah, we have a question about the millions and millions of records and how the software typically handles that. Well, for sure, the database, the data warehouse can handle that. As we import data to the tool, prior to that, we always want to make sure that we're taking a subset of what is the business problem. So we're not going to necessarily take the entire data warehouse, but we want to be smart on what we take. But the tool can handle quite a lot. It's hard to say exactly how many records, but it definitely can handle many gigs and gigs of data. So it would churn a little slower as the data gets higher, but it can definitely handle a few million records, or 1.5 million, or a few gig. So that's typically something that everybody worries about in regard to just changing software and understanding if we do, how is it going to handle, what's the processing time, and going from there. But we can help you in any instance to understand how it's going to affect your process.
Great. Thank you so much, Ken, for your presentation. At this time, we are going to conclude our webinar. There are no additional questions. We want to thank you for joining us this afternoon and ask that you please keep an eye out for our next webinar in the Predictive Analytics series. And we hope you have a great rest of the day. Thanks so much. Take care.